I read a huge amount. So we're supposed to be talking about a favourite book this week, and that's like picking a favourite child for me. So I'm going to go through my top 10 books because I thought that would be a good idea. Let's go. This is my... I'm not doing it in any order, by the way. I'm not going to be like, oh, this is my most favourite book, because that would defeat the object of the whole top 10 books. So this is the first one that I'm going to talk about, and it's The Northern Lights by Philip Pullman, and it is just an amazing book. When I was little, and I think a lot of people when they were little, you'd read like adventure books and stuff, and there'd always sort of be the main protagonist who was the main hero. And although a lot of my favourite books have this, you know, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, can't think of another one, but they have male protagonists, and you know, whereas I do love these characters that are male, it's nice to have, or it was nice, especially as a younger person, to have, you know, a female to look up to who was my sort of age range, and I could look up to her and be like, oh yeah, that's good, I can do that. You know, it's not just boys who fight and in wars, and not wars, she didn't fight in a war, but you know what I mean. She was a heroine, and it was nice to have that. Yeah, and it's also just a really good book, and I recommend the whole series. So Northern Lights, Subtle Knife, and Amber Spyglass, that's the right order, yeah, that's the right order, because they are a spectacular series of books. My next book is another trilogy. It's Inkheart by Cornelia Funk, and this trilogy does go down in just goodness and creativity and everything as the series goes along, so I definitely recommend Inkheart. I don't know if I recommend Ink Spell and Ink Death, but it's such an amazing concept. I don't get how people haven't, like, more people don't just think this book is amazing. It's about books. It's a book about books, about people in books and people out of books, and oh, it's really good. I do have a physical copy of my next book, but who knows where it is, so I'm just going to use my Kindle. It's Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, and it was written in like the 19th century, but it's really good. And it 19th century, yeah, 19th century. I don't know why I thought otherwise, but it's just a really good book, and it's smart, and it's like complex. It's about like sisters who go through stuff, and I don't think it's a read for everyone, because I don't think everyone would enjoy it, because it's not some kind of adventure thing, and you know, these big things don't happen in it, but they tell the intricate lives of sort of what they go about doing, and it's really good. Now we've got the third book in a trilogy, because we're shaking things up. This is the Chaos Walking trilogy, Monsters and Men, and then the other two are The Knife of Never Letting Go and The Ask and the Answer. And if you haven't read it, then pause this video, go to your library, go to your bookshop, buy it and read it, because all three actually, because they're all amazing, and I've read them all about 10 times in the last year, and oh my god, they're amazing. Just go read them, please read them. They're sad, emotional trauma caused by these books. Just go read them. It's an amazing book. I wasn't quite sure which John Green book to pick, but I kind of felt like I had to pick one of them, and I picked Looking for Alaska because it was the first one I ever read years and years and years ago. Maybe not years and years, but a long time ago. And it's really, really sad. It made me cry, but it also was really, really amazing, and it was just really good. I think you all probably may have read this. I know you haven't all read all of them, because I haven't read all of them, but it's a really good book, and I think, yeah, I recommend reading it. I recommend it, because this next book is not a storybook, and you can get a lot of the content online for free. And people can be like, what? That doesn't really sound like a book. Well, I tell you what it is. But it is possibly the thing that has saved my life several times and has kept me going. And it's this Tiny Beautiful Things, Advice on Love and Life from Dear Sugar, and it's by Cheryl Strayed, who writes an advice column online, but it is one of the most amazing advice columns that has ever existed, and I recommend you check it out. And I will recommend one letter, which is the last letter on here, Tiny Beautiful Things. And I won't read it out because that'd be stupid, but go read it. Like, you can get it for free. It's literally free online, and it's so she's so honest, and just her empathy is amazing, and this book has got me through so much. I could not make a video about books and not include this book. The whole Harry Potter series is obviously the most amazing thing, you know, written, but this book was my favourite one. I don't know why it was my favourite one. I think it's because it's the only one I owned on CDs for a while for some reason, because we had like 1 to 4 on tapes, and then we bought this on CD. and I used to listen to it every night to get to sleep. Not the whole book, obviously, but I used to work my way through them and just do it all the time. And this was a turning point, or was it a turning point in the series? I think it was. You know, people would argue that number 4 was, but it was a really good book. And Harry Potter is amazing, and we said we'd maybe save a week for Harry Potter, so I'm not going to go on, but the next one is Perks of Being a Wallflower, which again I couldn't not mention in this video. But yeah, it's a really, really good book, and I just felt so much like Charlie at times, and it was really good. And you've probably all heard of it, and I was really going to go on, but I figure, you know, you've all probably heard that it is amazing, and it is amazing, so yeah. I was trying to decide what my favourite Dickens was the other day, you know, as you do, and I used to think it was Great Expectations, but it's not. It's David Copperfield, because David Copperfield is amazing, and it has amazing sort of morals in it, and it's Charles Dickens' favourite books that he's written, I think, that's what he said, or wrote at one point, and so, yeah, it's really good, it's really big. And we watched the TV show of it, the 4-part thing with Daniel Radcliffe when he was a little baby, and it was really good, and I really enjoyed it. Last, but definitely not least, my favourite book since I was about 8 or 9, The Hobbit. It's so amazing. Even if you don't like Lord of the Rings, read The Hobbit. Please read The Hobbit. Oh, so amazing. It's so wonderful and amazing, and it's just such a good book. It's so clever, and J.R.R. Tolkien is my favourite person in the world. And that's last, so that's done. That's my 10 favourite books. I don't think everyone's going to do a top 10. Hopefully not, because it's like very long books, but everyone can. I think everyone's just going to do it however they want. But DFTBA.